Right. Hello, 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 and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo and I'm your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. And today we are talking about Bafana Bafana. I know. Interestingly, before we even start talking about every other thing, because I'm interested to hear what you guys think about tomorrow's game. Uguti Bafana Bafana right now are at a position where they could fail to qualify for the AFCON, although we only have 3 games. We only have 2 other teams. 2, you understand? We have 2 teams in the group. Yet Chiefs, Bafana Bafana could end up not qualifying for the AFCON, which is like, how does that even happen? That would be the greatest crime that Bafana Bafana can commit, because how do you end up not qualifying for AFCON under these circumstances? And Bruce, I saw a comment on Twitter somewhere where Bruce was saying, if he doesn't qualify, we should kill him. I don't know how true that is, but it looked legit, because I think it was one of the websites, the publications that was saying, Bruce is saying, if he doesn't qualify, we should kill him. So I am waiting to see Uguti what is making him so confident, like, because I feel like for him to be that bold and say, if he doesn't qualify, we should kill him, that is probably because he knows Uguti is going to make some decisions, probably some which will look ridiculous from the get-go, because I can tell you now, Uguti, tomorrow around this time, we will be probably pissed. The game at 11. So, sorry, I said it starts at 6, right? It started at 6. So, around this time, we would have finished the first half. We would be like 11 minutes before the game ends. So, it's either at this time we'll be angry or we'll be saying Bruce made a good decision, because what it looks like is that Bruce will have to make some serious changes on the team, and that's the only way you can do, because you cannot just throw away a 2-goal lead like that and expect to not see any consequences. So I want to hear what you guys think about tomorrow's game. Do you think Bafana Bafana will actually perform tomorrow? Are we going to the AFCON? Because we can't trust the game near Morocco. About that game against Morocco, we can't guarantee anything. Morocco could come to FNP or Orlando Stadium or wherever we play. They can come there and then they can absolutely destroy us. And in the meantime, I'm also checking the updates on Banyana, because their game is not showing. So all I'm depending on is the updates on Twitter, on the Safa Twitter page. So for now, it's the 70th minute. And it's still 0-0. So even our under 23s are not doing that well. So what are your predictions? What are your predictions for tomorrow's game? Will we qualify for AFCON? Let me just ask you guys this question. I want to see how many people actually think they still hope from, like, based on a game access. Because if we lose tomorrow, we're finished, right? That I think is something that is done. Like, if we lose tomorrow, we're finished, we're done, unless we pull something out of our behinds against Morocco. It looks unlikely we can qualify if we lose against Liberia. And that will just be unacceptable. I will tell you that much. So if we look at the team that played, right, let me just read ama comments lawo wakhona before I continue with the video. Unathi saying Walampilo Nation, our guys join and say hello and like the video. Who's basically saying again they have no reason for not qualifying with that quality squad, and Bruce probably had some words for them after the match. They are ranked 64th and Liberia is ranked 150th, so they should win this. Aibo, by the way, we did not have a conversation about this. We just kind of skipped it because after that game, Bruce did not attend the press conference, and we did not talk about what Bruce actually did, because you probably saw this thing by now. Uguti, after the game, Bruce did not do a press conference. So what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Because Bruce, after that loss, he didn't go and do a press conference. Instead, he sent Mkelele to go and do the interview. And then the media literally said, no, we're not going to interview you. We want Bruce. And then Bruce came out and Bruce said, listen, I did not want to come out and do this thing because I know if I say anything right now, it won't be nice. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to say anything. And then he left. Like, he interviewed was 80 minutes. So I want to hear what you guys think, because there are layers now into this thing. Because yes, I want to write these things down because now they're starting to be main. One, there is Uguti, how much do we blame Bruce for that loss? And also, how much do we blame the players for that loss? Right? So that's those are the two things. And also, do you blame the media for what they did to Mkelele? Because as much as there is an argument, Yoguti, the coach must account to the nation, us, for the loss. But at the same time, the assistant coach is literally an assistant coach, which means he should assist him with some tasks that he cannot carry out. So that means Mkelele was actually just doing his job, and he ended up being disrespected by media. Because if media are saying, no, we're not going to interview you, they are basically disrespecting him and saying, we don't view you as someone who can tell us anything about the game. Because I feel like, personally, you can say, okay, Mkelele, what did you think of the game? And then he will say, no, I think 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then they will say, but still, we have asked you questions. We still want to talk to Bruce regardless. To that lady who was in charge. We would say, listen, lady, we've talked to the assistant coach, but now we are going to talk to Bruce by fire, by force. Because I will say this, I do feel like it's disrespectful to him as a human being. Because as much as Bruce a bad, Mkelele, what did he do? I saw some people saying, "Hi, Mkelele na we are papa. Why did he come out?" It's his job. He's the assistant coach. And if you are asked to go out and talk to the media by your boss, you're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm not going there because you are throwing me under the bus," because he was already out there. So talk to him. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just human decency. You entertain another human being when they want to talk, and you talk to them. Not too good to just say, "No, we won't talk to you. You are not important enough. You don't mean anything. Go back and get your boss. That's who we want to talk to." So I wanted to hear you guys, Uguti. What did you also think of that fact? Uguti media just basically said they don't want to talk to Mkelele. And the second thing now is obviously, Uguti, how much responsibility can we put on Bruce? Because I've already said, Uguti, for the draw, which for this, every time I think about this, I always say for the loss. For the draw, I've been blaming, we've been talking more about people, a lot of people are talking more about Bruce this, Bruce that, Bruce this, Upito in. Okay, fine. Bruce did make a mess. Some people, they don't understand football. Abanye, they are blaming him ukuthi took out Umshish, because they are saying, he game we lost it when. No, he game we're losing it with Umshish grounding. And then when he took him out, izinto were worse because the people who came in did not impact anything. So actually it wasn't any much different with Umshishi on and Umshishi off, because it was it was like a matter of time before Liberia equalized. So we can't just focus on one player and say, you Pumakamshish, as if he was marking everyone who had the ball. Because if we had taken out the defensive midfielder and then we started conceding, then I was gonna say, what a stupid thing to do. You took out the person who was keeping our midfield building, because Umshishi, let's be honest, he was nowhere to be seen in the second half. So we can't then make it seem like substituting him is the reason why we lost. No, we lost because our players also now, but they must account for the fact that they were selfish up front and they did not want to pass each other. And we're leading 2-0 at that time, and they did not want to pass the ball to each other. So then how is that the coach's responsibility? And don't get me wrong, this is not to say no, Bruce got his plan spot on. He didn't, right? He didn't. That's just the fact. He didn't get his game plan spot on, but we can't just say Bruce should be blamed for everything that happened on, was it Thursday or Friday? That happened on Friday, because you cannot just say hi, everything is on Bruce because you are the coach. Because I feel like in South Africa we scapegoat our coach way too much. We scapegoat our coach every time, even in football in general. Well, if anything does not work or does not happen, okay, must sit like this or like this, if anything does not work well in football, the first and only person that we blame is the coach. It's never the players. It's always Uguti, the coach sucks. That's why we lost. The coach didn't do this. That's why we lost. When are we going to hold the players accountable themselves? Because I did see some people, excuse me, I'm gonna have to take my mic. I'm distracted by my light because I see the way it's standing, it's not helping it's reflecting this side. Yeah, okay, now we're fine a bit, I think. So Uguti, we always say it's the coach. When is it the players? Because anytime Bruce has talked about the quality of our players, everyone wants to eat him alive, right? Everyone wants to just say, well, we are paid to proceed this, proceed that. If our players were such a quality, then why are our best players struggling to play in Europe where the other best players are at? Because that's another thing that we just need to talk about, Uguti. As much as we look at our players and think, oh, they are good, but sometimes you just have to admit they are not good enough. Please do like the video. By the way, it will help me to reach more people like you. Please like 8 likes, 88 views. So please like the video. So I think that's another thing that we'll have to do, even going to this game, Uguti. If we're already going with the mentality of Uguti, no, the coach is the one who cost us the game. The coach is the one who should bear all the responsibility. He should bear some responsibility, but not all of it, because those are men who are professionals who should be doing better than what they did against Liberia, a team that is ranked 150th, as Uspesihle was saying. And then Ulipati, my comments, and is saying, we honestly have no reason not to qualify. There's only 3 teams in the group, bruh. Only 3 teams. Like, when I saw there are 3 teams, I was like, all we have to do is to literally beat the other team. Like, we just have to target one team and say, okay, everything that we do against Liberia has to lead to a win. And now we have 1 point. We have 2 games to go. It looks disastrous, because now you lose the next game, you stay at 1 point, and then Liberia is at 4 points, and then they stay at 4 points. We lose to Morocco, then we're out. That's just I want to pull up the table here. The table, the one that has South Africa is basically, pardon me. Yeah, right now Morocco has 6 points. They are clear. They are going through. If Liberia wins against us, they have 4 points. 4 points. 4 points. We still at 1, and even if we drew against Morocco, will still be at 2 points. So yeah, we just need to win tomorrow's game. Like, we were never even supposed to be in a position where we're hoping to go to Liberia and win, because for one, it came here Morocco. I think they played it in Morocco. I wonder why then we are playing our game in Liberia if they played their game in Morocco. So I want to also check the map, because Liberia I even forget to go. I even forget where they are in the map, because I was gonna say the problem is, well, if anyone knows why Liberia actually played their game. Yeah, Liberia, guys, is known is like West Africa, and then Morocco is North Africa. They are relatively close, but like Morocco could have flown into Morocco, but I don't see why they couldn't play that game there. But we have to go and play that game there. It's interesting. But again, that's just something that's not relevant. That's not relevant. Especially saying it was disrespectful for Bruce to walk out the way he did. He should have done the post-match interview. As for Mkelele, I felt bad for him. He was disrespected for no reason at all. No, Bruce vele wapet. That is standard. Bruce, what he did was wrong. You do the interview. Akira, you do it when you win, so you should do it when you lose also. You can't just send out Mkelele just because you lost, and then when you win, you are the one who goes out and talk. Basically, it's like you take it when it's good, but when it's not so good, you don't want to take it. But to disrespect Mkelele, it wasn't nice. And then Ulipat is saying Mkelele was definitely disrespected, and it hurt me because you can't blame him for doing his job, and I don't think they got answers from Bruce, so they should have rather just asked him because he was there. Yeah, because, and they are proud of them. They are proud of themselves, because you could see even the way they were posting, some of these journalists, Uguti, they were proud of themselves. Uguti, we sent Mkelele back, but they don't see the damage and the disrespect that they actually subjected Mkelele to, because you can't do that to another human being. You just can't. You cannot do that. Like, you just can't. And it's not. By the way, Bruce is not the first coach to refuse to do a post-match interview. And I know, Guti, according to our rules in the press, they must be given a post-match interview. So it's a must for coaches to do that. But that does not mean you then don't respect the assistant coach, because it's his job. It's his job. And I think if Mkelele had gone out, done the post-match interview, and there was no fuss, Bruce wouldn't have had to come out and apologize, because I think it would have just ended there. It would have ended there, because no one would have dramatized this. But since the media made it dramatic by saying Mkelele must go back, then Isafa had to do something to basically say, oh, Bruce, you have to apologize and stuff like that. But I feel like I will say this. There is Ugutu Bruce bad, right? But there is also the fact that people are still in denial Ugutu quality of South African football is not good enough. Right? There is still that fact that our players sometimes in mentality they don't dedicate themselves as much as they should be. Like Mbappe celebrates scoring against Bafana Bafana of all teams, like they are scoring a goal in a Euro final. They are proud of winning for their nation, even in a meaningless friendly. But our players were lining up to sign and take selfies no Mbappe after losing 5-0. So then that tells you a lot about mentality of those players. If you lose 5-0 to a team, that should be a humiliating thing to do. And as much as it's your dream to go and take a selfie with Mbappe. It should say something about you, Gutaibo. Apa mahloni. Why do you not care about what people will say right now? It's not right. It's definitely not right. It's funny. I saw someone had liked the video and now they've listened to me and they've disliked the video. I can see the stats over here. Someone liked the video and now they've disliked the video. But for those of you who might be enjoying the video, please do like the video. Let me read other comments. Unati is saying we can still beat Liberia away only if we convert our chances and our players trust each other more, less selfishness. Yes. Yeah, about that thing will depend on how Liberia starts as well, because we saw the last game, they started fast, but were able to basically like choke them and stop them from being a threat from the start. So we managed the game really well beginning of the game, but then it just got away from us. So I think that's what our team should do. If we can do what we did in the first half, because literally what we did in the first half was to make sure their chances did not amount to anything, and then we still created chances on the other hand. The problem though is that when we got on the other hand, we then got selfish and did not convert our chances. So I do agree with you, Unat. Ukusta is saying we can still qualify. We had far more clear chances than the opposition. If we can solidify our defense better, otherwise going forward, it's easy and it will be much easier. Yabo manje, the thing is, we're playing Yabonanji, guys, can I Liberia? Oh my goodness, they're so close to the tropics, they're so close to the equator. Oh hey, Yabo the equator. They're like just above the equator, and Mina right now I'm just below the equator in Indonesia, and it's hot. It's hot, guys. Yay, it's hot. In SA, they were playing at Orlando, right? They were playing at Orlando, and there is a place, Qaulifiers, right now in SA. It's March, so it's not that hot at this point, right? But it's not that cold either. But even if it was summer in SA, move to a place in the tropics, in the place in the tropics, it doesn't matter what. Like this, I always have aircon online, guys. It's always on. The AC, the aircon is always on all the time, because you switch it off for 2 minutes, all of a sudden the room is hot. Outside, if you walk outside, it's suicide. So these guys are no longer playing at Orlando where it's calm and everything is fine. They will be playing in a place where it's going to be really hot. And these guys, Liberia, they are used to those conditions. That's my fear now. We are just going to play and struggle with the humidity. And these guys are used to playing in those conditions, and they will capitalize on that. And I don't think the ground will be that great. So we might have those two issues to deal with. But Mina, I am hopeful that they can win. But it's just that the conditions, Shem, I don't think they will be kind to them. Uspecially is saying Mancave also loses important matches, but I don't see him walking out before the match is over. Never mind not attending post-match interviews. He keeps all the anger inside, and I know I can't compare. No, you're right. You're right, because Bruce is not the first coach to lose a game. He's not. I'm in no way excusing behavior. The thing that annoys me in Bruce, right? It's not that what he did was right, but it's the fact that the response to his wrongdoing was doing something wrong. So basically the media said, okay, he's doing something wrong, we'll do something wrong too, and then hopefully we'll get something right. And at the end of the day, nothing right happened, because he still didn't give us a post-match interview with what actually happened. What did he tell the players at halftime? we don't know right now. You understand? So it's that thing nothing actually materialized. It was just the apology that we got afterwards, but we did not get the thoughts from directly the coach after the game. What we ended up getting was a man, a footballing legend, being disrespected by our media. But he didn't do the right thing. Liberty is saying this was a 50-50 blame because even the players, the chances they were missing, as well as the selfish plays, they had resulted in Liberia being able to come back. If we had scored 4 or 5, ain't no comeback. Exactly. Like Bezo see Liberia knowing what we have 3 points now, and we have the confidence to have smashed these guys 5-0, and now we can do the same thing. But I remember there was a game that we played where we won, I think 5 or 6 goals to nil. And then it was one of those small teams, small countries. And then when we went to that place, we ended up drawing that game. I think it was Mauritania. I was so pissed. Yes. Let me see. Bafana v Mauritania. I think it was Mauritania as. Yeah, it was 2016. No, those ones even beat us 3-1. But yeah, I think there was one of the games we drew with them here and they beat us away 3-1. No, there was another game, man, where we won with a convincing score at home, and then we went away and then we ended up losing. We ended up drawing or something. So that is my thing, Yogutish. We have just put ourselves in a situation where we cannot rescue ourselves. Ubaba Gazenamiso is saying, Olampilo Nation, angiboni SA qualifier cause isazodlala neMorocco bra. And uthi laba bahlulekile besekhaya kuzoba nzima ukuthi bawine away. And not to mention yazi ilendaba yokuba away besides the temperature nani. There's just also a hostile environment. We saw ukuthi with the young boys, the under 23, they also had a situation where their training session was interrupted basically. Now, I don't think the game will just be smooth sailing for Bafana Bafana Ksas, because I think the environment will just be hostile on its own. So that's just gonna add another layer that we don't need. So yeah, I think that's sad. And then Unatu says the Bafana Bafana we all know is that we're gonna end up needing calculators to qualify. Hey Baba, because if we draw, even if we don't lose, we draw, it's 1-1. Then now we hope Uguti against Morocco they do something. Oh, but the difference in this one is that there are 3 games, ne? There are 3 teams. So it's not like on the last day your qualifier, one team will be playing on the other side and will be playing on the other side. So on the last game, Yama qualifiers 8. Liberia would have played with Morocco, or it would be us who would have played with Morocco. But in any case, if Liberia would have played with Morocco and won, now Tina in our game it will be up to us to win that game. But if Liberia plays first, which I haven't checked, then it will be us saying good. Morocco, please win and calculate. Must win with 3-0. South Africa. And then Football World says Hugo Prusikmele awugubhe umswarelo kuma South Africans. He owes us an explanation of how we lost 3 points with the subs he made. Yeah, Shem. Bruce, he did apologize, by the way, Football World. There was an official statement by Safa and stuff like that. But tomorrow, I hope he comes out composed and he hasn't lost a dressing room, because that's the last thing that I need as well from our team. Uphumelele is saying, mina nginandaba noma bangadliwa nje vele kuzobe kudliwa Sundowns. I completely disagree. That's not Sundowns. That's the national team yase South Africa, Phumelele. It's South Africa. When the Chiefs were dominating, our players were there. It was Kaizer Chiefs players. Any team that is dominating, even if it was the 11 players from Sundowns, I would still support them, because at the end of the day, Bafana Bafana should be the best players in the country, the best players from the country, I mean. So if Kuguti Sundowns players starting 11, yes, Sundowns are the best players in the entire South Africa, playing in South Africa or even outside South Africa, then they should represent the nation. Because what you want is to have a team that's going to represent the nation. So if we sort to know, let's try and have a team that is balanced. Okay, let's take one player from each team then and have 16 teams even benga perform kahle. Okay, Chiefs so to keep Peterson. Pirates so thathi right back. Even if underperform, guys, we must also be realistic now. We can't always make this thing about clubs. This is bigger than clubs. This is about South African football as a whole. Because even for our league to even be seen, we must start appearing in these international tournaments. But if we are not even showing up as a national team kuma tournaments, then Ipolelo South Africa will be something that is laughed at. Like, it doesn't matter which team these players come from. At the end of the day, if they are going to represent South Africa to the best of their abilities, I mean, I don't care, even if it's all Sundowns players, and I don't like Sundowns, but still, if Sundowns is playing football that is beating Abu Alali 5-2 and winning a Champions League, then by all means, I don't care who's playing in that national team. Ulipat is saying this thing is between us and Liberia because Morocco is going to have their way with is going to have their way with both of us. Whoever wins between us is one that qualifies, because I don't see us beating World Cup semi-finalist. Vele we are finished, Tina, if we don't beat the Liberians tomorrow. Because now I don't think they will somehow pull an upset in Morocco. They're not gonna do it. And Morocco just beat Brazil, yeah. Yeah. Funny. Oh yeah. While we were busy playing and qualifying with Liberia, they had no match to play. So they organized a friendly with Brazil. Zakal. So okay, now we have to see. So people are 50-50. 13 people said they think we will qualify and 13 say we don't qualify. So I mean, I'm hopeful we win. I can't say we will win, but I'm hopeful. That's all I do with Bafana Bafana when they play. I'm just hopeful. So okay guys, I will see you tomorrow for the pre-match. We'll do everything tomorrow, ne? We will have a game since it starts at 6 p.m. From 5, we will have a live stream reacting to the starting 11. When the game starts, we'll have a watch along. So that stream won't end. The stream will start with the reaction to the starting 11. The game will start. We'll watch the game together, but not on the channel. A watch along, and then after that we'll also react to the post match. So it will be just one video, 1 3-hour video. Yeah, so looking boogie camera kanje for 3 hours, but it's fine. Blade is saying we're only 3 countries in our group and we can't qualify. Imagine the nonsense. Humanda says, hey, I miss Mubango. And we are done. So guys, I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. and until next time, just go check out the video I posted about to look Leroux and other content in the channel as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember equals and Bafana Bafana akuphela umoya kokubili konke.